us, I think it's not as obvious and direct, and thank you, Brittany, for including us. Our organization, that we have a project called Vibrant Woman Mama Sana that came out of our organization called Mamas of Color Rising. We have been dealing with these issues even before. Things are only getting more exacerbated for poor and working class women of color in Texas. So we feel that the conditions have sharpened, but the work that we're doing is actually not changing that much. It's maybe getting more difficult, but ultimately I think our framework around reproductive justice is different, though we appreciate all the work that's been done. The frame of the single issue abortion right doesn't really resonate with our members and our community, so our organization has really put the frame around reproductive justice, both the right to not have a baby and the right to fully be able to if we really wanted to, right? So I think we're trying to broaden it to have the full spectrum of control over our body, access to resources to either have or not have, and to have the space to choose that fully. So that's kind of where we've been working for the last 5 years, and what came out for us as we've worked around changing policies to create more access to women to have more choices in the reproductive journey has been to, one, change Medicaid policies so that women can have more choices when you are pregnant. So one of our big accomplishments was getting women on Medicaid in Texas to be able to choose to have an out-of-hospital birth, not just a hospital birth, to really have some respect and dignity. As you know, nowadays women with the resources or private insurance can have a water birth, a home birth, you can have a birth wherever you want, however you want. But if you're poor, you have very little choices about what happens. And what our analysis is that when you get pregnant and you're either going to choose to not have or to have that baby, often for women, it's our first interaction with the state, with being policed by the state if you're poor, right? Before, your parents might have been policed by the state, but it wasn't you directly that had to be under the scrutiny, the humiliation, and the policing of what you get to do and how you get to choose things. So we feel that that's only becoming more exacerbated now with these changes, but that ultimately we want to kind of, I guess we're here to push back and say, though this is so important, now that Austin, since the 2010 census, is officially a minority-majority city, I don't know if you all know that, majority people of color city, not, I don't feel comfortable with calling it majority-minority, but even with that being the case, look at who's been leading and participating in these movements, and part of our, added critique is that the frame is too narrow. The frame of us standing up for abortion rights in particular leaves a lot of us out. And so we wanted to kind of broaden that conversation. I'll stop talking, but we'll come back to it later.